Thanks for joining us. I'm Nikki Davidson. An essential part of their life-saving operation. Sometimes they've used it on multiple people in just one day.
When you're watching those results, do you have a candidate that you're hoping will win, that you really want to run against in the future?
Power is out at our Fox 21 studio, so we are going to be doing this entire newscast taped on the scene of all of the damage. The Democrats and Republicans are facing a lot of tensions as they return to unfinished business.
They have to place it into an extractor like this. It's a process that takes at least an hour per person's gear.
The flames were so high that they could not immediately start fighting it.
Everything from edible gummy worms to face masks, even oils that you can put underneath your tongue.
As you can see, they have the entire thing set up in downtown Minneapolis. It took about 58 dump trucks full of snow to put all of the snow out here.
New Year's Eve approaches. People are going to be out drinking alcohol and having a good time, of course. But do you know your limit?
A shark fin. It's jagged ice that occurs when layers of ice are crushed together.
Yeah, they're monitoring the air out there, and that's kind of going to be the determining factor of when the evacuation order is going to be lifted.
After a few seconds of terror, it's time to jump. Can you tell me what Mario says?
Mamma mia!
It's time to go back to the studio.
The prison release of a repeat violent sex offender in Spooner, Wisconsin is prompting a lot of questions about the judicial system tonight.
That's right. No one in town will rent him a house or apartment, so the Justice Department is allowing him to live homeless in a tent in the woods just feet away from a park, school, and daycare.
55-year-old William Baugh pleaded guilty to the aggravated battery of an elderly person and third-degree sexual assault in Washburn County in 2010. He was also convicted for a solicit, induce, promote prostitution charge of a 16-year-old in Minnesota back in 1984. He's been in and out of prison over the last several years on parole violations. He wears a GPS monitoring device but had his probation revoked last March after, quote, failing to abide by his GPS schedule, attempting to conceal his movements, and leaving his apartment. Last week, Spooner police put out word that Baugh, who is considered at risk to reoffend, would be released again, but without an address, meaning he would be temporarily homeless. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections says Baugh must still legally keep his electronic tracking bracelet charged or be arrested. So now he's living in a tent in the woods behind the Spooner probation office, which is only about a block away from here.
I run a daycare with 65 kids here just about every day. I went on high alert.
Joanna Shelton, owner of Creative Kids Learning Center, says the daycare is on lockdown, with Baugh living essentially in their backyard.
Not saying that he would do anything, but we're just being super proactive here. We have a lot of responsibility to keep the kids safe here.
Parents say they see him while picking up their kids. Sheldon says she's seen him herself nearby.
He was sitting at a picnic table in the pouring rain, and I honestly felt really bad. I think that our system is a little flawed in the fact that this is supposed to be a reward per se for him getting out. I don't think that it was really a fair situation, but again, what he did was not okay either.
The probation office is even closer to this school and City Park. It's just across the street from both.
There's just kind of like a chill that is going through the neighborhood.
Right across the street from where he is sleeping in a tent is the Head Start. There is not enough teachers versus children to make that okay at all.
Locals say it's clear the system is failing this community and William Baugh.
He has nothing to lose.
It's cold up here.
Yes.
So what's to say in a month's time he's not reoffending just to get back into jail?
But the Department of Corrections tells us, quote, ultimately, Baugh is responsible for identifying a residence that complies with state law and local ordinances. And his situation is not rare. They report there are currently 546 homeless sex offenders in Wisconsin alone.
And the city of Spooner now has created an ordinance unanimously passing a resolution that will go into effect tomorrow that would ban sex offenders from living less than 1,000 feet away from any school, licensed daycare center, park, recreational trail, or any other place where children are known to congregate. And that ordinance will make his current campsite in violation of city code. I did attempt to get his side of the story, but I was not able to contact him.
CBD is a product that's hit the shelves in Minnesota and Wisconsin stores. Leaders in the industry are cashing in, calling the trend a gold rush.
And many of the people who use it say it works to treat their illness. But on the flip side, pharmacy leaders have issued warnings, calling this new product not quite legal, possibly even dangerous.
CBD, 3 letters that have created a billion-dollar industry. It can be bought anywhere from Amazon to local salons, smoke shops, liquor stores, even a business fully dedicated to the product in Superior.
At Apple House Superior, they have a couple dozen different CBD products, everything from edible gummy worms to face masks, even oils that you can put underneath your tongue.
Pure CBD, a chemical compound found in the marijuana plant, does not have THC.
A lot of people like the medical marijuana because it takes away their pain. CBD does the same exact thing without the feeling of being high.
The Sutherland family owns the Apple House in Superior, where they have a loyal customer base.
Some people have come in here and cried, and it's helped them so much.
Business is good.
You would want something that's going to work, right?
The family has plans for expansion in the works.
You're helping people out. We get addicts in here taking pills and whatnot. Now they're not. They're switching to the isolate.
They've got a wide range of customers, like Susanna Schaefer. She's a stay-at-home mom.
Like anyone that has anxiety attacks, when your heart's pounding really fast and your blood's flowing really fast, and you get really nervous.
She says CBD treats her anxiety.
It could have just been, like maybe the placebo effect too, like using it, but I feel like it definitely helped. It made me feel relaxed.
While other users say they use it simply to stay alive.
It gives me hope. I can't die anytime soon. I don't want to.
8 months ago, Jason Surlock's life flipped upside down.
I thought I got stage 4 cancer. It was the worst news of my life. He gave me 6 months to a year, stomach and esophagus. Right about here. Went to my liver, spread their spots.
With nothing to lose.
Started using the True Blue here.
Jason says he gained more than he ever thought a little bottle could give him.
I had another PET scan and my tumor went away. Shrank after radiation, but I still had a little bit. I started using this and the spots on my liver started disappearing.
But while the buzz of excitement grows, so does the controversy and confusion. The CBD products sold on the shelves now are not approved by the FDA.
It's also been called the Wild West.
The chief medical officer at St. Luke's says the hospital won't recommend CBD oil to anyone except for cancer patients who are also certified to use medical marijuana.
There's a lot of anecdotal evidence that it helps with certain conditions, but we just haven't had the well-controlled, placebo-controlled studies to show that that's the case.
But some doctors do embrace CBD.
We've just started using it within the last 6 months. We've had really good results with it.
Dr. Robert Torgrimson is a chiropractor. He's prescribed CBD to about 100 of his patients, but he warns buyer beware. The product does not come without risks.
Hemp is a very big heavy metal detoxifier. It needs to be grown on organic soil that does not have heavy metal toxicity to it. Some of the products that are coming in are toxic to the system, and they actually create more problems than they're worth. We use really only one product at this point, just because we know where it's manufactured, how it's manufactured.
He suggests read the labels, do your homework. There are possible side effects.
Very rarely, but it's happened a couple occasions where it does interfere with medications.
But perhaps the biggest controversy about CBD is it legal. Through our investigation, we learned CBD does not actually have the green light.
The sale of these products currently is actually illegal. For reasons I don't know and understand, companies started believing that in fact they could sell the product, and I don't know where they're getting their information from or what their legal advice from, but that's simply not the case.
A legal gray area hiding in plain sight. Even the doctors we talked to weren't aware of the Board of Pharmacy's decision on CBD, but the board doesn't have plans of stopping the sale of CBD just yet.
I would guess right now that there are hundreds of retail establishments in Minnesota that are selling the product. As that old proverb goes, once the genie's out of the bottle, it's awfully hard to put back in. The other reason is there might truly be some benefit for these products. We don't necessarily just want to stop the sale of a product that might be beneficial.
That could change if the board gets complaints about people getting hurt or sick taking CBD. Only time will tell what the future holds for CBD, and time is also what some patients like Jason would do anything for.
I was destined to pass on 6 months to a year, and it's been over 6 months. Come June 6th, it'll be 1 year, and I plan on making it a lot past that.
Now, the FDA did put out its own warning about CBD, saying that the only federally legal products are ones that have been tested through their drug approval process. That's only one drug at this point. They say, quote, deceptive marketing of unproven treatments raises significant public health concerns as it may keep some patients from accessing appropriate recognized therapies to treat serious, even fatal diseases. Now, Dan, it is so hard to get legal information on this that I reached out to a lot of the people in Wisconsin, the Department of Corrections, Department of Justice. Didn't get back to me, so I don't know what the answer is there. I'd see there's some news from the end of last year that there was debate about that, but it seems across the board that there's no actual, in this area anyways, people taking the stuff off the shelves. It is happening in New York at this point, so
interesting.
It's a developing field, but it's something that a lot of people feel very strongly about because they really think it helps them. So we'll see what happens.
All right, interesting.